If you grew up an 80s baby like I did, then you know exactly what this move is and what game it's from. You've probably done it 100 times with your friends like I did. What's interesting to me is the hand gesture at the end of the Hadouken. That's what we're going to explore today and its relationship to the Leviathan. On the left side of your screen, you see Ryu, one of the main characters of Street Fighter, performing the Hadouken. And on the right side, you see him performing another one of his very famous moves, the Shoryuken. What you may not know is the translation of the meaning of these moves, most notably the Shoryuken, which means Rising Dragon Fist. Ryu's name, his skills, and his powers are all based on the dragon. Obviously, the Shoryuken is the Rising Dragon Fist, and the Hadouken, when he forms his hands like that, that's meant to be like the mouth of a dragon. And so the fireball that develops in the midst of his hands, that is obviously the fire-breathing dragon. So when you see it from that perspective, you realize this is based on something far more sinister than just a kid's game. This is hearkening to the Leviathan, which we are going to read about in Job chapter 41 in just a moment. Throughout history to this present day, people from around the world in all civilizations throughout the world have been fascinated by dragons. In every culture and civilization throughout history, there are stories and myths of dragons. And what you're seeing on your screen right now is Namor, or Kukulkan, from the most recent Marvel film, Black Panther 2: Wakanda Forever. Marvel didn't just fictionalize a villain out of nowhere, but they went into the history books and got the chief god of the Mayans to be featured as the villain in this story Marvel is telling. But Marvel has done this before. They didn't just get random people to be the heroes in these movies. They got Thor, a Norse god, Odin, a Norse god. They got several others that are regarded by people in real life as gods. And they are telling and glorifying fallen angels and principalities and rulers of darkness in high places. They are exalting them. And we as believers are paying money to be told old ancient stories of fallen angels and false gods. We're paying money so that we can see these stories told in vivid detail, 3D. We want popcorn and chips and drinks. We are paying out the nose so we can watch stories about Satan. Okay, got that out of my system. Now, let's take a look at Job chapter 41, the Leviathan.
Job 41. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put an hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him. Remember the battle. Do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Who can discover the face of his garment? Or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. They are joined one to another. They stick together, that they cannot be sundered. By his sneezings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold, the spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. The arrow cannot make him flee. Slingstones are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp-pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. Upon earth there is not his like, who is made without fear. He beholdeth all high things. He is a king over all the children of pride.
For a creature that is believed to be mythological, at least according to science, there sure is a fascination with the dragon around the world. Let's take a look at some dragons from around the world. Well, this charming, hellish, toothy beast is Nidhogg of Norse mythology. Equally interesting with its appearance is its story, as it led a rebellion against Odin and the other sacred gods, and fails and becomes the chief representation of evil in Norse mythology. Geez, where have I heard that story before? Ah, that's right. The Bible records that the dragon, also known as the Leviathan or Satan, led a rebellion against God and was repelled down to the earth and is now the chief representation of evil in the earth. Next up, we have Kukulkan, which, as we discussed earlier, is the chief god of the Mayans. Now, pay close attention to the plume around the head and various parts of the body. You're going to see more of that as we get into other dragons from around the world.
And they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? We know that we are children of God, and that the whole world is under the control of the evil one. And we are in him who is true by being in his Son, Jesus Christ. He is the true God and eternal life. Dear children, keep yourselves from idols.